Hey everyone, get a little bit more light in here. There we go. That should be no, wrong way. This way here. There we go. How is everyone? I've been going to some new things and watching some new things, and got quite a few things to read on that look at different parts of the world as well. So I can tell you I am going to be joining Sheila Inquisitive Tarot. She'll tell you more about that, but if you want to go and check out her channel, Inquisitive Tarot, she's got quite a few, and I'll be joining her on Saturday night, your time, around 7 p.m. Eastern. So it'll be a little bit before I go on. So if you haven't had a chance to check her out, please go and do so. She's, you know, so yeah, it can always be a bit hard starting out, and yeah. So please go and check her out, and yeah. Oh my goodness. Wrong finger. Oh, Sheila. Oh my goodness. Sheila Celtic with Sheila. She's gone live with David Johnson. So she's on live at the moment. But stay with me. Hi, Sheila and Inquisitive. No, don't worry about it. Oh, AOC will tear her apart. We've got a few things to look at from around the world today. Anyone got a question for me to head down? Hi, Cardamancy. Hi, Uncover the News. No, I didn't. No. I didn't get you mixed up with Celtic. Sheila from Celtic, which is on live at the moment with David Johnson. So she's doing, will the Olympics happen this year? Will Olympics go ahead? And we should look at Winter Olympics as well. Ditto 2022 Winter Olympics, because that's not that far off. Hi, Hippie Gypsy. Yeah. I can still see Tucker Carlson and Fox parting ways. I don't, even though he's got Lachlan Murdoch's endorsement at the moment, I still see them parting ways. Denmark has stopped using AstraZeneca altogether. AstraZeneca and Johnson & Johnson both use adenovirus technology. Apparently, I'm not up on that, but that's all that I know, and perhaps that's a common thread between the two. Both of them are having the side effects, so yeah. Now we have Jordan. There's a crisis in Jordan with the king's half-brother, Prince Hamza, has been detained for allegations that he's been meeting with critics of the government and the king's domestic critics. There's a lot of deep-rooted rifts and rivalries. And there's allegations of corruption, incompetence, and harassment by Prince Hamza towards King Abdullah. So, is it true about the corruption in the government, or is it just a play to topple the current government? So I'm interested in looking at that. Yeah, so I've let announcement that I'm going to be on your channel, Inquisitive Sheila, Inquisitive Sheila, on, what is it, 7 p.m. Saturday Eastern Time. So, yeah, go and subscribe and stuff to Sheila's channel. And China is boldly supporting Iran's nuclear ambition. Now, Iran had a blackout at their Natanz underground facility where they enrich uranium. It's said to be sabotaged by Israel in retaliation for Iran missile strike on an Israeli tanker. So what's going to happen with those tensions there? Will Putin invade the Ukraine? Did they in fact attack that tanker? So we're looking at that. Over here, we have a big kerfuffle happening with the former CEO of Australia Post, a woman called Christine Holgate, who is claiming that she was bullied and humiliated and lots of things she was said to have agreed to, she said she didn't agree to. Was she unfairly dismissed from Australia Post? She gave 4 executives Swiss watches worth $5,000 each for accomplishing something. A little bit excessive. $500 watch maybe, but 5,000, yeah. But was she unfairly dismissed? Will Biden succeed in his wish to pull completely out of Afghanistan? Is business opposition to Republican voting laws working? Threatening to pull out of those states and yeah. Yeah, I heard that it's being held ransom. The Ever Given, that ship that got stuck in the Suez Canal, as Egyptian authorities pursue $916 million in compensation. Hi, Robin Arvin. Yeah, she's being that. I do not know how she confused a sleek black Glock with a clunky big, chunky, bright yellow taser. I cannot see her confusing the two. Anyway, she's been charged with manslaughter. Hey, Bubba girl. Oh, that woman, the South Dakota governor, when is she up for re-election? Does anybody know? Kristen Noem or something. Governor Noem. She says no to them. Noem. South Dakota. Does anybody know when she's up for re-election? Is she up next year? Oh, yes, our Prime Minister is going for mass vaccination hubs at the moment, which is completely the opposite of what we were told was going to happen. It's ridiculous. We had a really tragic thing happen overnight here at one of our schools, one of our high schools here. It's heartbreaking, but I'm not going to read on it because it's very sad and it's, yeah. Yeah, Jewish rabbis defend Tucker Carlson, saying he's not anti-Semitic. He's not only anti-Semitic, he's anti-everything. Okay. God, can you imagine? Hermione Granger turns 31. Whew, whew. Anyway, yeah, the variants. We haven't really had to. The UK variant, yes, we've had brushes with it, but we haven't had any of the others come in. And other variants are going to cause new problems. Well, they are in some areas, aren't they? Okay, let's get into it. Okay. So we're going to look at some pretty hefty subjects today. Jordan, the Kingdom of Jordan. Prince Hamza's allegations correct? Or is it just a power play? Apparently he has been meeting with domestic critics of the king. thing is, Prince Hamza is very popular in Jordan. He's the king's half-brother, King Abdullah's half-brother. I'll do a COVID reading for Canada as well, uncover. So, COVID Canada. Okay, but let's see. Just going to do a quick. Okay, let's have a look. Jordan, what's happening there? Are the allegations true? Queen of Wands. There is some cause for investigation. Protectiveness. Prince Hamza is very protective of the people of Jordan. And he does feel there's a need for there's a lot of in his gut feeling. He feels that there's something wrong, and he is pushing to find out what. I'm just going to go and turn the light on because my face is half in shadow. It's driving me nuts. That didn't make much difference. Okay. Oh, well. Prince Hamza. Is he justified? Oh, there's definitely some changes coming up in the Jordanian royal family. Now, it had lots and lots of rifts and rivalries. It's no different than a lot of royal families, and there's definitely some changes coming up that cannot be avoided and that will change things. Eight of Cups. He might have to go into exile. We've got the Eight of Cups, and I feel like this should be this forced abandonment. He might have to leave the country and go into exile. That might be the change that's happening to him. Nine of Cups. That's going to be a quick and easy solution for Abdullah if he sends his half-brother away into exile. Get him out of the country so he can stop talking to domestic critics. And it's something he really wants. He wants to get, he doesn't want to kill him or anything like that. He definitely just wants him out of the way, not able to access people. So, Four of Pentacles. Yeah, there are a lot of secrets happening that I do think that it's true. This is secret things being kept close to the chest, you know, and also it can also stand for financial instability. There could be some financial corruption happening there. This change could put the financial stability of the country in jeopardy to a small extent. Victory, the Six of Wands. That's interesting. The other aspect of the Eight of Cups, because we've got victory on top of the Eight of Cups here, another aspect of the Eight of Cups is witness. Now, I'm using, this deck is the Line Strider Tarot, so I'm going to just grab the book and just check something. So this is it, the Line Strider Tarot by Ciolo Thompson. Beautiful, beautiful. And it's just a stunning, stunning deck. I haven't used it as much as I want. I love all my decks. But the Eight of Cups, I just want to have a look there. Travel, abandoning old ideas. Okay, so this is could be abandoning old ideas, moving on. So perhaps with the Death card, changes, trampling on old ways, the country could be moving on. I think that Prince Hamza wants things to change, wants to make some social changes. That's why he's listening to domestic critics. So if this is abandoning old ideas and moving on, and they've got the victory there, this wish for changes could win out within. I'm not saying that Prince Hamza wants the royal family booted out or anything. I think he wants changes in the way that they rule things. Hello, April Evans. It's nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Patricia Ray. Melinda, hello. I'm looking at the situation in Jordan. They're clinging on. They're clinging on to old ways. We look at this, this cat is happily munching on the bird that was in the cage. King Abdullah would well and truly like to put his brother into exile, I think, but that's not going to happen. I do think that there are going to be some changes happening in Jordan. And Ace of Pentacles, new offers. Isn't it so cute, the bunny? Hi, Joji. Look, it's going to be a few days before those things calm down. I can have a look at oh my good Lord. That is to run over them and they will not be held accountable. No, that is, I don't think that law is going to hold up. The law in Oklahoma, is that going to get thrown out? Oklahoma law. I cannot see how that can be. You cannot have a law that says if, you know, it can be turned into use in road rage or anything. That we'll have a look at that, Joji. We'll have a look at that Oklahoma thing, law, Patricia Ray, as well. Yeah, some agitators tend to turn up at night. Back to Jordan. There are new possibilities and new offers in the way if they change. Not necessarily having the ruling family and all that, but some changes to the laws and some changes to the strength of the powers that the ruling family have. Queen of Cups. So this is the second queen. One very protective and investigated, going out, talking to people, finding out what's going on, because he knows deep down inside that changes has to happen. His half-brother doesn't want to hear it. His half-brother is more the Queen of Cups. I know what's best. But it's not just a nurturing, mothering type thing. It's a smothering type thing. I know what's best. And I will tell the people what is best for them. It's done from a place of caring, but he is convinced he knows more than any other person. The Tower. There's definitely going to be, we've got the death card here now, and now the Tower. There's definitely going to be some event happening, and it's going to lead to changes, which is the death card. Changes that are unavoidable and basically irreversible. It's going to highlight the need to stop hanging on to the old ways of doing things. You need to move forward. You need to move on, and you need to move forward. No, Nancy Lee, thank you for joining us, by the way. I'm reading on the situation in the Kingdom of Jordan, with King Abdullah has placed his half-brother in detention at the moment. His half-brother, Prince Hamza, who's very popular, has been out talking to the king and the government's domestic critics, and the king's not very happy with that. So I'm looking at the situation in Jordan, where this is going to lead. I did ask initially, is there corruption? Yes, there is some corruption there. And there does need to be some investigation, but I'm looking at where the whole situation is going to lead, and there's going to have to be some changes. And there's going to be some event. Now, the Tower is a major arcana, so time-wise it's further away than closer, but still, somewhere in the next few months, next couple of years, there's going to be something in Jordan that really shakes the country up, that shakes up the royal family. There's going to be an event, and the changes that come about are going to be unavoidable, and they're not going to be able to look back. They're going to have to move on. So, yeah, so that's the situation in the Kingdom of Jordan at the moment. I'm doing some international stuff today. But we'll be going back to the US and stuff. I'm even going to look at something in Australia. So that's in Jordan. Whoa. Class action lawsuit, hey, for excess deaths of Americans under the Trump administration. Will that happen? Will that class action lawsuit succeed? New Jersey. Wow, that's an interesting one. Ireland. You want me to have a look at Ireland? I don't know what's for COVID or just the situation in general. Hi, Crazy Cat. Hi, Greta. Now, the next story I have there is these cards are very stiff. I don't use them very often, so they're not good candidates for the flipping. Okay, so what I might do is going between, let's see, the next thing I have, China is supporting Iran's nuclear ambitions. I don't think Israel's admitted or taken responsibility for the Natanz blackout, but it's really put a fire under the Israelis. Oh yes, Northern Ireland, yeah. Yes, I heard something about that last night, Northern Ireland. Yes, I can look at that, at Ireland and Northern Ireland, the problems there. Now, was the blackout a terrorist act? Here's the Queen of Wands again. Yes, it was. Was a terrorist act, and it was investigated. The Moon. There is still a lot to come out about the blackout and what happened during that blackout. There was more to it than just shutting down the facility and, pausing in Iran's uranium enrichment program. It's not their only facility, but there was more to it than that. The Page of Pentacles. Disruption. The main reason was disruption, but blacking out a facility for a few hours is not really going to do that much. So there's more to it than just the disruption. Information, a bid to get some information. This is the Page of Pentacles here. And yeah, she is naked. Anyone want to know the deck I'm using? It's the Lion Strider Tarot. The Queen of Swords. Oh my goodness. Definitely a strike. Thoughts, words, communications, information. I think there's more to it than just shutting down the thing for a few hours and putting a crink in there, in their enrichment. Preciseness, clarity. I'm going to have a look at the Queen in the book. I don't use this deck often, so you know me, I'm never afraid to go back to sources for Insight. They were definitely looking to gain insight. Yeah, information, intelligence. It was more than just shutting down the plant. There was more to it in that. It was definitely about getting information. Yeah. Trying to get secrets, trying to find out more about their agenda. More happened than just the plant, the blackout during that time. This could definitely lead to more action in Iran against the Iranian thing. But China, they have China's backing. There's 3 high impact cards here with the moon, the high priestess, and the tower. Yeah, this could be a precursor to a bigger event. They definitely more was happening than just shutting down the power plant for, because just cutting off the power for a few, so it'd slow down production for a few hours. That's not that big a deal. I mean, that could happen if there was an accidental shutdown. There was more behind it, and definitely some intelligence gathering was involved with that. Was it Israel? Yeah, I'd say so. But it wasn't in retaliation for this ship strike. We'll have a look at who did that too. Strike against the ship. It was more. They've come out, Israel's come out and said that it's in retaliation for a missile strike. Sort of like an excuse against one of their tankers in the Gulf. That's going to bear a closer look. Interesting. There's definitely more to it than that. But they've got China's backing, so it's definitely, and they're going to stir the pot. They're going to stir the pot. China is backing Iran to get a bigger foothold into that region. I think so. We'll have a look. But there's definitely going to be some event that comes out of this. Sorry, guys, I've just got to look for something. really interesting. Why is China backing Iran with this? Oh my goodness, that's awful. Are they being violent or anything, or are they just being sprayed with pepper spray? They're praying and chanting, but they're not running riot or anything. Okay, I've got a couple of spreads here I want to try. So, why? What's happening with China and Iran? So, in the past, so the police are all inside a fence compound and they're pepper spraying people. Just ridiculous. Okay, China, King of Wands. They view themselves as a leader, but they're not a compassionate leader in any way. They're the type of leader that you do things our way or you're in trouble. This is, and they want to spread their influence. Okay, so they want to spread their influence. But there is some obstacles in their path. Four of Wands. Other countries in the region are very wary of what's happening. And that's an obstacle to them. So they're going in through Iran to try and extend their influence. Okay. And create a sort of away from home base. But there's definitely resistance from several other countries within the region. Influences in their favour. There are people in Iran who want to be able to do things, and they can't get money, other things easily. And China's going in, and they have resources that they can offer these people. Okay, so offering resources, offering, helping people. We can help you. We can give you what you need to start what you want to do. The near future with this is, they're definitely in the near future, they're going to be sending out people from that area, and they'll be using Iran as a base to get intelligence from. Making deals. The long-term future with them is, they're really looking in their long-term outlook. Their long-term outlook is their long-term objectives in the future is to basically go in and take over a decent section of the Middle East, of the Gulf. That is the Six of Wands, the victory card, and spread their messages of communism and the way we do things. The eventual outcome for China in that region the Emperor. They could succeed in getting, if action isn't taken, they could succeed in setting up a foothold in that region and spreading their influence. And to me, it's destabilizing the region, which is what they want. Even though there's no reversals in this deck, but I feel like this should be reversed, destabilization. The Emperor stands for stability, the rule of law, compassion, leadership. They want to extend their leadership, but they also want to destabilize the region so they can reach out further. And they think they can do that by going in through Iran. So that's what all that is about. Hi, Grandma D. Yes, please do send out your prayers and the energy for that. Now, did Iran attack that container vessel? Did Iran attack it? The Hierophant. That's a maybe. What's on the bottom? The Magician. Someone pulling off a trick. Look here, don't look there. Ah. Look what was under the Magician's. Strength. Patience. Long-term outcome. And the Wheel of Fortune. Here's the Tower. That's from the top of the deck now. Got the Tower. What is going on here? Did they attack it? The Ace of Wands. Created a created situation, I think. Foxy, sly. This has got a fox there. Very sly. Very sly. You know, I don't think they did. I think it was the thought passed through my head, but I wanted to wait and do a card reading to see what that says. I think it was set up as an excuse for Israel to say, well, you know, we caused the blackout because of their missile strike on us. But no, I don't think it was. It was to give the Israelis an excuse to go in. I think it was a look here, don't look here. We've got a strong reason for it. We have the right to retaliate. You know, institutionalized chaos, wheel of fortune to change things, and destabilization. This is the fox on this Eight of Wands. Foxes are very crafty. They're perceived as not necessarily being trustworthy. So you've got to really question whether or not this is creative thinking. Thank you, Valerie Hyde, and welcome. It's lovely to see your name here. Yeah. So my interpretation of the cards is, and this is it was a friendly fire attack to give the Israelis a reason to say, yes, we did this because, and they needed a reason. So, and they did a lot more. If you've just joined me, after I finished, go back and read the start where I did go back a little bit, where I did a reading on the blackout at the Natanz uranium enrichment facility in Iran. It was a lot more happened there than just a blackout. It was an intelligence gathering exercise as well. So, yeah. I'm not saying that Iran wouldn't go and, strike vessels in the Gulf and all this sort of stuff. In this instance, I don't think it was them. And that thought passed through my head when I was reading on the thing before, and I thought, no, I'll wait and see what the cards say. Hi, Amy Smith. Oh, thank you. I don't mind if people can't catch my live. It just, it happens. And yes, thank you for all the thumbs up as well. Now, we'll take a shift away, and we're going to come down to my country. And earlier I explained that the former CEO of Australia Post, our postal service, Christine Holgate, there's a big controversy about, well, there was a controversy when she gave four of her major executives $5,000 gold watches each, $20,000 worth of gold watches, as a reward for achieving certain goals. But she ended up resigning over that. But was she hounded? Was she unfairly dismissed? She's accusing the Prime Minister of bullying, deliberately humiliating her, making it impossible for her to fight back. And so was she unfairly dismissed? That's the question I'm going to ask. So our former CEO of Australia Post, Christina Holgate, was she unfairly dismissed? Hi, 171 sign-in. Don't apologise for having your eye on those concerning situations, Joji. There's no need for that. Thank you for letting us know and for alerting us. Should you need to send out, yes, it is a government position. Yeah, Australia Post is a government owned. It's government owned. So, Was Christine Holgate unfairly dismissed? Don't stress on that. Okay. Idealistic, romantic, charming, and original outlook. Hidden agendas. Tradition, good counsel. Unconventional advice. Tradition, good. He was, yeah. Unfair bias and unfavourable outcome. That's justice. This deck has reversals. Eight of justice, unfair bias and unfavourable outcome. So traditional, good counsel. He was counselled to get rid of her. The Prince of Water, idealistic, romantic, charming with an original outlook, an invitation about a love interest or creative project. Definitely, she was brought in there to change things. Six of Air, moving forward, a journey. Yeah, it's Four of Fire, Four of Wands, temporary setbacks. I think she was, well, Tulip, the need for patience, Tulip World, that's the resolution card. That's the World card. This is the Tulip Tarot by I looked up her name before. I've actually got, if you go to my community page and go down the things, you'll see the these cards, this deck of cards, and another one I created by a lady in Perth, and I've got her details there. Okay, and they're great. They're wonderful cards. There's going to be a resolution come about because she's really speaking out and fighting out. And there's going to be a need for a resolution. And there's the need for patience. Tulip Hernet. Fear of isolation. Yeah, I do feel like she was maybe pushed out and unfairly dismissed. There was unfair bias, pushed out, forced isolation. Tulip Priestess. Intuition and foresight. Hidden influences, definitely. There was more to it, to her dismissal. The Hanged Tulip, which is reversed in this case, denial of spiritual need or denial of the need. She feels like she's been denied what's due to her. And there might be Five of Earth, loss, hardship, unemployment. Yeah, I do feel that she was unfairly dismissed. Regeneration, prioritization. 15 of Tulip, the Devil, so that's reversed. So there's going to be, this is the Devil card, the 15 of Tulip. And the 13 of Tulip Death, resistance to change, denial. Yeah, I feel like she was unfairly dismissed. That doesn't mean she shouldn't have been cautioned or what happened is she was stood down while there was an investigation. And then she was told, I think it was unfair. Did she make a good decision? No, I don't think she got the best counsel on that with those watches. But I do feel like it was the cards are saying, because I don't know much, I don't know this woman, and I'm not sticking up for, women in the workplace. It just, the cards indicate that there was a lot more to it, and it was an unfair dismissal, and it might come about and judge that. Okay. Angela Dicker at starcode.com.au. So the Wild Tulip Tarot, which is this one. The other deck of hers I have is and she does send a Woman in the Moon Tarot is the other one I have, which is this one. And they're great because they have reverse meanings and all that as well. And so they're wonderful cards. They're wonderful. Like, look at the tower, bare bum. So so when did she create this one? 2020. She only created this one last year. So what I'm going to do is put the email address, if you're interested, she does send overseas. Okay, so if you go and have a look at my comments page and scroll down there, you will see her information. Okay, we'll do a trip to Governor Noem in South Dakota. I don't know when she's up for re-election, but will she retain her seat? Does anyone know if she's up for re-election next year? Are you happy? Yeah? Cameo's here. I freshened your water. I made sure your food bowl was full. Hey? What's up? What's up, boo-boo girl? What's up, Bubba? What's up? We'll have a cuddle later. You can cuddle Mummy while she watches the NRL later. or maybe we'll watch a movie together in the front room, front yard. Two of water flipped out for her. Love and happy relationships. Relationship deals she's made. She's made deals. Let's have a look at what else is in store for her. It's her challenge. Yeah, she's a deal maker. She loves making deals. Her challenge is the Princess of Fire. Resourcefulness, enthusiastic young person who enjoys achieving goals and good news. Unhelpful, inconsistent, unwelcome news. So her challenge is to, she's definitely got someone coming after her. We're looking at what's in her future. Is she going to retain the governorship when it's up for a re-election, whether it's next year or 2024? So definitely an unhelpful person. Let's have a look here. Two of air, resolution, balance restored. At the base of this is resolute, balance restored, conflicting viewpoint. At the base of this is she wants balance in her state, and balance to her means you do it my way. There's only one right decision. If you're at that crossroads, you go right. You don't go left in any way. You just go right, and that's the basis of her whole thing. Always lean to the right. Only ever go with right leaning, not right or wrong, but right leaning. 10 of water in her past, contentment and a goal fulfilled. She's really happy. She thinks she's done an amazing job. I think she feels like this is just first step up on her rise through the GOP to greater power within the GOP. Don't be surprised if she ends up running for Senate at some stage, possibly even president. Tulip magician, but it's reversed. So above her, loss of confidence and dishonesty. Oh boy, this is hanging about above her head. Something's going to come out. Something is going to come out about dishonesty, and it's going to the people of South Dakota. She's going to lose some of the confidence of the people of South Dakota. And we're looking at Christian Noam. Does anyone know if she's up for re-election next year? Her immediate future, 6 of air, moving forward, a journey. Okay, so there's movement away from where she is, or moving forward. She's up for 2022, moving forward. So she's going to be moving forward. She's getting ready now to move forward with her campaign. Emperor of Tulip. It's got here, this is interesting because in her environment is rebelliousness and lacking ambition. Dishonesty, loss of confidence. She feels she's been pretty good, lacking ambition. That's not lacking ambition for herself, that's lacking ambition for her state. And that's in the air about it. And that, I think, is maybe why she's losing some of the confidence of the people of South Dakota. And the fact that she's holding up vaccines, she's overseeing voter suppression, she's, her attitude is rebellious, really rebellious. Her environment. 10 of fire, oppression and excessive workload. she's going overtime she's working overtime to suppress votes and oppress, voters within the state. Hello. Her hopes and fears. Prince of Earth. Overcautious, material-minded, stagnation, travel overland. She really hopes that people will see her as trustworthy and persistent and dependable. But she fears that they're going to see her as not doing enough and too entrenched in enjoying the luxuries of the government mansion, we'll put it that way. General outcome, Prince of Fire, an active young person who values travel and excitement and new adventures. Ooh. The outcome for her is going to be somebody else. This is the Prince of Fire. This is the Knight of Wands. There's going to be someone challenging her, younger than her. Not that she's that old, but fiery, creative, who's willing to go out there and basically move the state of South Dakota into the 20th century, let alone the 21st century. The other two outcome cards for her, Nine of Air, depression, the need for caution. Yeah, she's going to be in for an anxious time. Tulip Lovers, risk conflicting choices. Ooh. She might have to withdraw from the race for some reason. Is she going to have to withdraw from the race? What's on the bottom? Four of Fire, favourable change. So currently things look favourable for her, but further along, that starts to turn. Conflicting choices. The Two of Air at the base of her. Choices. Whenever she's made choices, it's to benefit her and her position in the party. I'm going to just put the Four of Fire down here. Shuffle the cards a bit. Hi, Dishes and Stitches. Hi, Tara Raina Helena Harrison, hello. Let's have a look. We're looking at Kristen Noam from South Dakota. Is she going to have to withdraw? Eight of Air, restrictive movement. That's the Eight of Swords card. Tulip, yeah. Endings. Ooh. Ooh, something's going to happen and it's going to end her political career. And she's going to have to withdraw. She's got actually quite a few swords here. She's got the Two of Swords or Air, Six of Swords, the Eight of Swords, the Nine of Swords. Something's going to happen during the course of the campaign next year where she's going to end up out in the cold. I just take note of a lot of things. If I'm skimming through something and I see a headline, it'll stick in my head or in my mind, and we'll see a story, or, you know. Yeah. Conservatives are pushing to replace Angela Merkel in Germany. She's not a conservative. Will Conservatives take over in Germany with the upcoming elections? I'm not quite sure when they are, but in Germany, Angela Merkel is the current chancellor. I'm using here, this is the what's it called? Something Dream Tarot. Beautiful deck. Dreamland Tarot. And it's created by Kate Keisha Boutique. And it uses the art of an artist called Hans Zapka, who was born in 1859 and died in 1945. So just to give you an idea of beautiful, very chocolate boxy, but I love it. It's absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous, gorgeous picture. I got it off Etsy, ETSY, and it had to come from Latvia, and it's not the cheapest of decks, but it's gorgeous. Anyway, so will the Conservatives take over in Germany? Let's have a look. Card flew out. Wheel of Fortune, destiny, destination, karma, changes. There's, governments can go in cycles. Page of Swords, the challenge for them taking over is passion and restlessness. People of Germany are pretty restless. And they're going to ask questions. This is the Page of Swords. Curiosity, they're going to ask questions. What do you do? What policy is this? What policy is that? How will you institute this? Seven of Swords at the base of this, deception, trickery, theft. They're not being entirely honest about what they want to do. Okay? They're not telling the whole story. Five of Swords, past the conservative movement, and this is conflict, disagreement, and ambition. In the past, they've not been afraid to stir up things. They're not revealing their whole agenda. Page of Cups, sensitivity, dream of surprise. There is definitely some emotional reaction to conservative. Sort of a punch in the gut and instinctual. Quite a lot of people aren't happy with how Angela Merkel's run Germany in recent years, but that doesn't mean they want a conservative government. They might just want the current government, a new leader for the party that's currently running. Rejuvenation, confidence, and hope. But then there are a lot of people who see bringing the Conservatives in will provide new hope and rejuvenise the country. Seven of Pentacles, patience, persistence, diligence. They've got a lot of work to do if they are going to take over. Five of Pentacles. They're still on the outer at the moment, okay? The Conservatives. Awareness, worry, insecurity. They're still on the outer at the moment. You see this woman, she's out on a limb, basically. She's hanging there with no, or she's sort of leaning against that because it's the only support she can find. Yes, there's a big tree behind her, but she doesn't see that. She's looking in the wrong direction. So at the moment, the Conservatives are not looking in the right direction with their policies to get more support. There's some things that people aren't 100% happy with. Hopes and fears for the Conservatives: discipline, power and truth. King of Swords. Okay. This is the hopes and fears for people in Germany too. They hope that they can bring discipline back to the economy, but even though the economy is really good, it's one of the best in the world, they're a bit afraid, I think. But the fear is that this is all corruption leading to a gain for personal power. They've seen that before with other people in other times. Outcomes. There's definitely some deception going on here. This is the moon: illusion, deception, unclarity. They're definitely hiding something, and that's going to come out. Queen of Wands: charisma, confidence, joy. I think this could be Angela coming out on top. Seven of Cups: choice, confusion, daydream. Okay, look at these little cherubs. I think they'll come close, but I don't think they're going to get close enough. I do think Angela or her party, whoever's representing her party at the time or heading her party at the time, will come out on top. The Conservatives, they're in with a chance. You know, she has made some mistakes, but yeah. Hello, Edwina Stevens. It's nice to see you. Welcome. Hi, Dishes and Stitches. Okay. Is Putin going to invade the Ukraine? I've seen headlines saying that he is, he's preparing to, but no, here's why he shouldn't and won't. What's happening here? We had a couple of cards fly out. Four of Wands. Home, decision, choice, stalemate. Two of Swords. In his mind, the Ukraine should be part of Russia. That's it. That's what he's always thought. The USSR should have been able to hang on to it in the dissolution. He's always thought it was part of Russia. He wants it to claim it as part of Russia. But he's got to make a decision. He's at a bit of a stalemate at the moment. Two of Swords. The US and other NATO countries have said they will support the Ukraine if he invades. Knight of Cups, idealistic seduction. He's tried come over to our side and join us and we'll do all good things together. But their president isn't buying it. Yeah, he may have been an actor, but he's a very smart man. He's a very good leader, and he's shown He's savvy, he's smart, he can make deals, he's politically aware. He's not a fool. And he didn't buy it. He didn't buy the false offer. 10 of Pentacles, tradition, comfort, inheritance. Here he is. Here's Putin's attitude towards the Ukraine. It's his by right, or Russia's by right. 8 of Wands. If he does it, he's going to do it very, very quickly. Will he succeed? The Empress, beauty, fertility, creativity. Support, nurturing, mothering, supporting, protection. No, this is the Empress. This is like NATO in a supporting role with the Sun. Yeah, I think there's things going to be brought to light. Optimism too. He's optimistic, he can do it. 6 of Pentacles, generosity, kindness, charity. He's made deals. This is also the card of, thank you, Gypsy. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. This is also the card of making deals. He's made deals with people, with oligarchs in the northern part, in the Crimea area and stuff. The Tower, but no, it's all going to fall down on him, fall on his head in a great big tumble if he does that. You can see this poor wounded little churub. Poor wounded little bubba. Yeah, if he does, it's going to bang, whack, knock him off his feet. He's going to fall over on his skates again. So, yeah, he definitely wants to. He wants to, and he's making plans. He's making deals with people and stuff and in the Crimea area and stuff. There are people there who want to be part of Russia and stuff, and he's still courting them, but I don't think it's going to be successful in the end. Okay. Will Biden succeed in his plans for a complete withdrawal from Afghanistan? Is he going to be able to do it? Do a cross here. I've got this cross spread that I'm going to use for this one. It's one I haven't used very often at all, really. I did it a bit earlier, so I'm going to use it for this. The past and the influence it still has on this question. Will Biden succeed in his aim for complete withdrawal of troops from Afghanistan? Deals, working together, deals made with people, that has an influence and everything on the decision. Partnerships with other countries in there, and there's still influences on that. He's still got to work through all that. Obstacles for him to do this. There's still some confining boundaries that There is a way out of them, and he's looking at that. But at the moment, he couldn't just withdraw them now because there are still binding agreements and things. And so at this immediate stage, he can't just do it. There's still things that need to be cleared up in order for him to do this, and he may not be able to do that. A complete withdrawal. Influences working in his favor. People are anxious and they're tired and they're scared. So there is general support for pulling out there. There's a lot of support for pulling out there, and families are scared that their sons, their daughters, their fathers, their mothers, they're not going to be able to come home, and that really is an influence in favour of Biden achieving his aims. In the near future, no, there's still a lot of negotiation to do and balancing the right way to do it, the wrong way to do it. There's still a lot of negotiations and stuff, but he's working towards manifesting what he wants to get done. The long-term future. The long-term future is moving on, withdrawing and moving on, but that is long-term. So in the short term, no, it's not going to happen in the short term. In the long term, yes, they're going to be able to move on, but there's so much to look at before they can do. There's so many tasks they have to achieve first. The eventual outcome for this question, will he be able to pull out completely? No, not completely. They're going to be able to pull quite a lot of people out, but they're not going to be able to pull out completely. They're going to have to leave some people there. It's such a strategic place, but who they're going to leave there, it's going to be more of the covert type branches and stuff like that. So there are still going to be some people there. He's not going to be able to bring 100% every American personnel back home. They're still going to have to leave some there. That's disappointment, right? But there is going to be quite a large withdrawal, and quite a lot of people are going to be able to come home or go somewhere else. What's here? Partnerships and deals is something that can be new relationships is hanging over this. So good. What is a bit more clarification on this card? Yeah, Congress will never approve a full withdrawal. They're always going to want to keep some people there. They, like others, want to see people come home, but they understand that there's more to the area, and that but they will approve for a lot of people to come home, but they're still going to have to leave some people there. So it's not going to be complete 100% withdrawal, which is what he wants. But Congress wants eyes on the ground and ears on the ground. So, and again, this is eventual. This is not going to play out in the near future. Hi, Edwina Stevens. Hi, Ronald. Hi, Teresa Balthazar. Hi, Sharon Sipe. Now, Joji, you asked me about Ireland, Northern Ireland. They've got food shortages, COVID, all sorts of things going on there. Let's have a look at the situation in Ireland. Okay, I'm going to do a horseshoe spread here. It's a 7-card spread. Okay. The past with Ireland, Northern Ireland. Yeah. Yes, I'm basically doing the whole island. Ireland and Northern Ireland, the whole lot. The Republic and Northern Ireland, because they've got the same issues, basically. So, Ireland and Northern Ireland. The past. In the past, the institutions were working well, achieving what they need to see, but I think they've sort of, over time, became narrowed, and especially when Brexit started, they didn't think outside the box enough to be able to tackle it. The Republic of Ireland, of course, has its own trade agreements. They're not part of the Great Britain or anything, but they're still affected because of the border, the common border with Northern Ireland. At present, they are hanging in there, but it's really, they're really feeling insecure. The people are feeling insecure. They're hanging on to what they have. They're scared to spend. They're scared to get out and expand some more. They're shrinking in on themselves. Hidden influences at work. They are embattled, but they have resources that they didn't think they had. Access to resources there's work going on behind the scenes to increase the access to the resources and embattle them. So they're not on their last wand of hope. They're not on their last way to defend themselves and help their community. They've got all these ones at the back to help. So yes, they're tired and they're down, but they haven't given up. And that's also their never say die. It's very strong with them too. They're in battle, but they're not beaten. That's a hidden influence, but also they have more. There's more going. There's stuff going on behind the scenes to help. What are the obstacles to overcome? Northern Ireland particularly feels shoved out in the cold. Combined with the border, the common border with the Republic of Ireland, the deals that Northern Ireland is being shoved out of Brexit, out of the European Union. I don't even know if the Republic of Ireland was part of it, but they had their own trade deals. But they're both feeling frozen out with trade deals, and they have to overcome that. Should Northern Ireland secede from the Great Britain, the United Kingdom? Perhaps. Will they? They might. Will they become a republic? They might. Other people's attitudes. Yeah, they feel like Europe's just walking away from them, and Great Britain's walking away. The UK's walking away, and abandoning them. That's what they feel like. What should they do, the pair of the countries? Shift the way they carry the load. This is a really interesting card to me because you can see the way that this person is carrying that bundle of wands. Okay? He's got them in front of him. It's really hard for him to see where he's going. He's got to stick his head around the corner. His gait is not very stable. And it's like it's slowing down the journey of where he needs to get to. You know, he's in danger of losing his grip on a lot of the wands here. If he shifted them, stopped, paused, put them back together, tied them together, shifted it to his back, changed the way in which he carried the load, it will be a lot easier and a lot quicker for him to achieve what he wants to achieve. And that's what they have to do in both those countries, in the Republic of Ireland and in Northern Ireland. They have to shift the way in which they're carrying the load. And that could be doing it together. The outcome, strategies and goals. Now that came out reversed. Choosing a different strategy than they had. So they'll be going, their outlook's going to be different. This is the outlook, expanding outlook. The outcome is going to be a little bit different to that. How? I mean, I took all the reversals out of this deck, so it's surprising. They're going to, together, they're going to, instead of being separate, that separation is going to stop. I'm not saying reunification or anything. I don't see that. I see them working together, still as two separate players. Hi, Flora. How are you? Sharon Sipe, hi. They're going to cut through a lot together. We'll just do another card. Assessment. This is a reap what you sow card, but it's not necessarily a bad one either. This is, they're assessing what they have now. They're cutting through the crap of what they have now and how they can change things. I think they're looking together to create not a union, a partnership, to move in a different direction, to share. Will the people of those countries be okay? That's a good sign. Happiness and wish fulfillment. Yeah, I think they're going to be able to work it out, and I think they will come through this. The Irish are tough. They're not called the Fighting Irish for nothing. They fight. Okay, will the coup in Myanmar, what will happen in Myanmar? Myanmar. Let's have a look at Myanmar. Will they be okay? We'll do the same spread there. Hi, Edwina Stevens. We'll do a Whitby! You're a good boy. Yes, you are. Okay. It took a long time for change to happen in the past, for laws to be changed, for things to happen. Very slow moving, and there was a lot of corruption and mercenary people in control. At the present, it is an anxious time because those changes that they worked so hard to overcome, and it took so long to overcome, have been flipped on in, and it's really, really an anxious time for Myanmar at the moment, for people who are fighting for their lives, for their freedoms. Influences at work, hidden influences at work. Okay. Hidden influences at work is the end of one thing and the start of another, a completion of resolution. Other countries are quietly looking towards a way in which they can help find a resolution for this problem. Obstacles. Greed, corruption, quid pro quo, dirty money. They've got to get through all that. They've got to get rid of the people and find the people who were party to this. And there's also the obstacle that the people, it was never a hugely rich country to begin with. So the resources within the country, it's like the people themselves don't have enough resources to be able to fight back. That all they have to give to the fight is themselves. And those who do have money are corrupt, make deals. They're already making deals with the government to keep what they have. Attitudes of other people. A lot of countries just say that's just the way it is over there. This is the legacy in these countries, legacy of corruption and stuff, and they just shrug it off. And those attitudes don't really help. But then there's other countries that say these people are fighting for the legacy of freedom. So it's, what should they do? That's an odd one. The Four of Swords saying that they should retreat. Why? Come on. That doesn't make sense. I'll look at the outcome card. New deals, new partnerships, new relationships. That could be good. That could be good eventually, but it's going to take time. I want to have a look at this. Okay, first we'll have a look at here. Abuse of power. That is overwhelmingly what's happening there. So I'm going to take this with the military coup and all that. I think what they should do is I'm not sure what that means by the Four of Swords. People, not everyone was happy with the lady that was maybe she should retire from the scene and not be. Apparently yes, she won the Peace Prize and everything else, but she's not exactly been sweet and innocent and uncorruptible angel herself. So perhaps her movement to, I think persuading her to retire to the background, moving forward with somebody else possibly. Yeah. No, moving on. Yeah, moving on. These are both moving on cards. So on top of the thing, they need to move on and support somebody else. And I think this somebody else is somebody who's also been out in the cold, who's possibly been put there by the former leader, the one who, caved. So they have to move and they have to look to someone who's been out in the cold, someone who's been in opposition to that lady. He's very wise, compassionate, steady, shows strong leadership and will bring stability to the country. So they have to move on to this other person. I don't think it's female. I do feel it's a man. Not being sexist there or anything. It's just, they need to put their weight. The people of Myanmar need to put their weight and their faith and what resources they can behind this other person. And that will lead to new agreements. And possibly this person could be talking to other countries about it. But it's still going to take a while. This is a major arcana in terms of time wave that's further in the future than closer. But yeah, resolution will be found, but it's still going to take a while. Hi, Rondell Fredgate. Okay. COVID in Canada. What's going on there? Oh, that law in Oklahoma, is that going to get overturned? The law they're trying to pass, is that going to go anywhere? Or will it get overturned? It's ridiculous. It's basically government-sanctioned homicide, basically. Can a law like that stand? It's really causing a lot of emotion. Compassionate leadership. Investigations. Can it be overturned? Deals, quid pro quos are behind it. Institutions are going to step in. I think that it's going to get overturned into courts. And it is going to cost. That sort of thing is going to cost. It's like, what if we go out and protest something and somebody decides they're going to drive through our protest to try and break us up, and we even turn and scowl at them, they can run us over. It's going to backfire on lawmakers. Yeah, it's going to end up before a judge. Strong case for dismissal, for overturning it. Yeah, they're just repeating the mistakes of other things. It's also trying to get money. It's a bid to get money from Republican voters and stuff. Is business opposition? Oh, Canada. Guide to the highest truth and compassion. What's happening with COVID in Canada? Lots of strains. Let's see. Canada. they were able in the past to sort of provinces and stuff with the hard borders and everything to keep people within those boundaries. They've had some minor wins and celebrations and all that. Homes and families, they've been relatively successful in keeping people safe, but of course where they are does not help. At the present, need for nurturing is increasing. This is the Empress. This is the Mother card, the nurturing card. The need for basically the need for medical help is increasing, and that's a major arcana, and the impact is a lot bigger than it was previously. Hidden influences here. People talking, adventurous, wanting to get out. That's Page talking. Young people. People saying one thing but doing another. So, oh yes, we understand. Yes, of course, we're fully supported behind. Of course, we'll do this and we'll do that, but they're not. And people are out there all over doing the wrong thing, saying that yes, they're staying here and doing that, but they're not. They're sneaking out when they shouldn't. They're doing this when they shouldn't. They're, obstacles. People just want to move on, and it's getting harder and harder to convince them that they have to stay in place. They just want to move on. They just want to get out there, and it's getting harder and harder. And the attitudes of people is that, I'm just not going to lie here and be sick. And look, if there are unfortunately people out there, well, if you're meant to go, you're meant to go. If it's your time, your time. It's either going to take you out or it's not. And that's not helping. What should Canada do? They need to move forward into calmer waters, do everything they can, get more vaccines out there. But, of course, it's supply and demand. What's the outcome for Canada? There's going to be new strategies brought into place. It's still going to take a little while. This is the second major card, and these strategies will have a big impact, will help. What else is there? Yeah, there are going to be some changes, good changes coming. New strategies are going to be put in place, and they will have a good impact. But at the moment, with regard to COVID, the impact at the moment is not good, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. But those changes will happen. I wish I could tell you better news, but there's a lot of people who aren't doing the right thing. They say they are, but they're not. And yeah, so I wish I could give you better news on that for the people in Canada, but okay, will the Summer Olympics go ahead? Hi, Sharon Lee. I just did a reading on COVID in Canada. I wish I could have given you better news, but I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. But they will find a strategy that will make changes for the better, and have a really good impact on COVID. Judgment. Now I'm reading on whether the Summer Olympics will go to celebration, bringing people together. See, yes, judgment so far. Yeah, there's no reason it shouldn't. Strategies, there's strategy, got strategies in place, wisdom there. I think it's just really, really important to help. It can help with global stability. There are some people, this came out reversed, so there are some people thinking it's just biased and not a fair or clear-eyed judgment, but that's not the case. They will find a balance and all that, but yeah. But there still could be outcomes from it, and not necessarily good outcomes. There could still be spikes. Athletes could get sick. It might even, they compete, they get sick from this thing. Some of them might end up paying by never being able to compete again. But the Japanese are very good for thinking outside the box. I do think it'll go ahead. It might be smaller than was anticipated, but okay. The next question I'm going to ask is the same question, but for the Winter Olympics in 2022. Will they go ahead? Or will they be postponed? Winter Olympics 2022, will they be postponed? Lots of work going into, they're looking at a lot of details. Are they going to go ahead? Again, it's the infusion of relationships, the importance to relationships, global relationships. I can't remember what country it's supposed to be in. I think what they're going to do, this is the consequences card. I think what they're going to do is wait and see what happens after the Summer Olympics. So patience, intuitiveness, and investigation. So depending on what happens after the Summer Olympics, they're going to make a judgment then. These games have a lot of legacy goes with these games, but they have to cut through and find out what is going to be the true cost of having the Summer Olympics first. And then a gathering. At this stage, there's no plans to cancel them. but I think they will review the situation afterwards, after the Summer Olympics. Are the Democrats going to have legislation to expand the United States Supreme Court? I didn't think they needed legislation to do that. Hi, Sandra Henderson. I'll stay on for a few more minutes. Hi, Fern Robin Blank. The abuse of power that was used to put people into the position into the Supreme Court or onto the Supreme Court. It's left the door open, but loss and regret. It's definitely going to lead to regret on the part of the Republican Party. Out in the cold, overwhelming emotion. Yeah, what they're going to do is bring about changes. Heard. So there's going to be some changes to present that. They're definitely going to be pushing through some legislation through the Supreme Court. The leadership and the structure of the court, they're going to be making some changes. It is an anxious time. Honestly, some of the choices that Trump made are going to come back and bite him in the ass, bite the Republicans in the ass. Yeah, they're going to change the way in which the burden of the court is structured. They need to shift the way in which they do things. This is Biden, and he has strategy. It might increase the number of judges, but not by a lot. But it's really aimed at changing, limiting what the Senate can do in confirmation of saying they making changes such as they have to meet with and everything. They cannot make those changes. Like, okay, it might be within 2 weeks of the election, and after the election, judges are not allowed to be appointed, go for hearing, things like that. They're going to make some changes. The legislation is, yes, it might install a couple of new judges, but it's going to mainly be about up until a certain point. You can't say it's an election year, 8 months before the election, so it's not fair, we've got to leave it to the people. No, you're not going to be able to say that crap anymore. So we won't listen until after the election. No. And then if there's more, say if the Republicans win, they can't say, we won the Senate, so the people mandated us to make the decisions and all that. No, all that crap's going to be gone. There's going to be some revision. Might take a while to get through, but So here, keep an eye out, an ear out for more of that. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap it up for today. Thank you for joining me. Again, if you're interested in the Tulip Tarot or the Woman in the Moon Tarot, go to my community page and scroll down and you'll find the information on Angela Dicker, who created these cards, and www.starcode. It's got .com.au, but you might try .net.au as well. Thank you again. Thanks for the support you've shown me, and I will see you again on Sunday. Pet special coming up. So I'm doing a pet special tomorrow night. Okay, I'll schedule it now. Thank you, Sean Muller. Thank you. It's lovely to see you. Thank you very much for that. And sorry you joined me, but that's okay. And thank you for the support. It's really, really appreciated. So keep an eye out for the notification for pet special tomorrow night. Bye-bye. Bye, Shelby Lisa.